Hi, I'm Renee Washington, joined by the women of Gotham FC. Welcome into Walk in Her Boots, presented by Johnnie Walker. Today's episode will be featuring Kristen Edmonds. So let's get right to it. Coming off a 2023 NWSL championship, the first for the club, how has it been so far with Gotham FC? What's it been like this season?
When you look at the season as a whole, it was kind of like a lot of ups and downs. You know, we just made it into the playoffs, and then we kind of peaked there. And I think this year is kind of the same. Like, we're starting off kind of doing well in some games, struggling in some games. But I think to be able to see that we can go through that and still come out on top, and then we're kind of like slowly going to be rising, I think that's something positive for us to look forward to.
Yeah, for young Kristen, did you ever imagine that you'd be not only a professional athlete, but as Sinead is mentioning, be able to be that role model for somebody else that they're looking up to you and one day wanting to be just like you?
I mean, yeah, I watched the '99 World Cup too, and I think that's kind of when I was like, wow, like this is a dream that I kind of want to pursue. But also, like, I feel like when I was growing up and I was like, okay, or not maybe, I definitely knew that I wanted to make this my path. But there was a league and then it folded, and then there was another league and then it folded. So it was like, by the time I get to be able to play, is there going to be anything for me to play in? Also, too, like having kids and families come up to me and specifically be like, I want you to meet my daughter, or I want my daughter to meet you because she hasn't had somebody that looks like her in a position like this before. So, I mean, there's definitely some powerful moments, like being in this position and kind of being in this league for such a long time.
Yeah, and actually sticking with that, as a Metuchen native,
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers grad, you obviously have played all over the world
Yeah.
and all across the league.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when you had the chance to return back home to Jersey
Mm-hmm.
and be able to play with Gotham, and now, as you mentioned, you have kids that are right in your own backyard where you grew up that have a chance to have that role model in you and your teammates. You know, how much have you really seen the game evolve on and off the pitch since, you know, how you started to how you are
Mm-hmm.
now in the professional, space as an athlete?
Yeah, I mean, my journey has been an absolute roller coaster. Like coming straight out of college, I actually didn't make any teams. Like I actually got cut from Sky Blue twice. So playing here is actually kind of funny. And winning a championship with them is actually kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm always like pretty realistic with any of the kids that I like talk to or train or anything. And it's like a hard job. It's hard work to be in this position. And I think people always, you know, from the outside looking in, kind of just see the smiles and the championships and the wins and what they see on TV. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and it's such a roller coaster of emotions season in and out. Coming back here was a difficult decision for me, and it hasn't been like all great. There obviously have been like great moments, but you know, I still have my challenges. But when I look at my career as a whole, it's something that I could definitely be proud of. And to be here and have my parents like see that me winning a championship in their backyard essentially was like a pretty cool moment for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there are so many different aspects in sports that people don't really understand, especially as a woman in sports. You don't People on the outside looking in have one idea of what it takes to be successful, what it takes to every day, put on your cleats one foot at a time and get out there and prepare for soccer, prepare for training, prepare for games, prepare for the weather, whatever is going to be thrown your way that day. And I'm curious, Kristen, if there's anything specific that jumps out at you that if you could tell somebody the reality
Mm-hmm.
of being a woman in sports, playing professional soccer, what would that be for you?
You definitely have to have thick skin. Like
Mm.
it's something different every day. You know, you come in and you grind, and at the end of the day, we all just want to play the game. But there's so much more to it. But if you can find those like little moments and little pockets of like joy and happiness, and yeah, just kind of hold on to those pieces. You're gonna go through like tough times. You're gonna go through injuries. It's a part of the game, unfortunately. But how you bounce back from that, how you approach those things, like Midge, I think you coming to training and just being like a bright light around us is like awesome, because like Even like sometimes like we'll be in training and it's like, for me personally, like I might just be like, oh my God, I'm having a terrible day. But then I like look over and you're like out there smiling and like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I need to put my big girl pants on. Like I'm out here and I can do it. So yeah, you just have to definitely have thick skin. But I mean, enjoy it because, you know, it is fun. It's like an amazing job. So yeah, you just have to find those moments and kind of hold on to those.
The concept of to walk in my boots is to know blank. For me, it would be to walk in my boots is to know struggle.
I think for me, it'd be to walk in my boots would be to just show determination. Like, if there's a way, I'm going to find it, but I will also figure out how to make one. Like, I refuse to take no for an answer so many times, which is why I'm here today, but also just in life, like, if there's something that I want to do or something that I aspire to be, I'm going to make sure that it happens and I will find a way and I'll find a path and I might get knocked backwards a couple steps, but I'm still going to find that way forward and that way through.